Hi there, this is Janet Gershon-Siegel, and I'm the Lonely Writer. This is serious social media help for the independent author. The independent author is defined as a writer who does not yet have an agent. All this month, I've been doing daily prompts for NaNoWriMo. These prompts are intentionally in a mixed-up order, and the idea here is for you to skip around, double back, maybe do a few of them twice, look at them after the month is over, just put them in a blender, whatever you like. It's certainly your choice, and go crazy with it. So today's prompt is a two-word phrase, and it's useless talent. So what do we mean when we say that a person in particular has a useless talent? So if I told you that I've got double-jointed elbows, which I actually do, and so I can bend them in ways that are a little kind of frightening, yeah, that's a pretty useless talent, don't you think? But the truth is, this talent isn't 100% useless, because I could conceivably reach into something with a bend that's rather different from what you might be able to do. So there might be a use behind my quote-unquote useless talent. And so maybe we look at this stuff and we say, well, it's useless, not because it really does not have a purpose, but maybe we're looking at it and we're calling it a useless talent simply because it's unfamiliar. Or maybe we look at it and we say, okay, well, it's useless simply because it's obsolete. I mean, there are people in the world who know how to shoe a horse. Is that a useless talent? And I would say in parts of the world where there really aren't horses, and horses aren't really ridden and tamed, I would say, yeah, you're probably right. That's kind of useless. But in New York City, being a blacksmith's probably pretty useless. But you go out to Wyoming, you go out to some place where there are horses, or maybe you even go to like one of those restoration sort of villages in, let's say, Plymouth or Williamsburg, colonial Williamsburg. Those places are going to have horses, and of course those horses are going to be wearing horseshoes, and yeah, you're going to need somebody to replace those horseshoes, and also to put them onto little colts and fillies when they're born. So there is a use, but maybe it's in the wrong place. It might also be that it's kind of annoying, oh my God, that talent's totally useless. If I'm in your face all the time with my double jointed elbows, you might conceivably get kind of annoyed by that. So I think there's a relativity to this, and where maybe we're comparing it to things that are more familiar, or that we see more often, than we do more often. What I really love, I have to say, is there's an old film called The Goonies. If you've never seen it, please do. And one of the things about The Goonies is that everybody has a chance to do something. Everybody has to do something in order to get from point A to point B, C, etc., to finally point Z. And one of the great scenes in this film is where a young girl who was taking piano and really was kind of blowing it off. She has to play a piano briefly. And it's this talent that she felt was utterly useless in her life. She certainly wasn't paying attention to, but it became vital at that moment. Now let's look at it a little bit differently. When we say that something is a useless talent, maybe that's our hang-up. Maybe that's our, that's our value judgment going on there. So if I say to you that your piano playing is useless, well, if it gives you pleasure, or it maybe wins you a scholarship, then it's worth it now, isn't it? Now it's no longer useless. So could you write a situation like in The Goonies, where a person's useless talent saves the day? Finally, once again, my name is Janet Gershon-Siegel, and I'm the Lonely Writer, because an independent writer never has to be alone. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm sure you're glad that you can't see my double-jointed elbows. Good luck with NaNoWriMo.